We're out running some of the UTA course. So today we started at Eco Point and we're just kind of almost at Fairmont now, which would be 18k. We've just hit the road section. So it's almost like the only place I could film because it's so undulating, that whole section we just did, and full of stairs. Like if you're not going upstairs, you're going downstairs. And if you're not going up or downstairs, you're like taking 90-degree turns and just trying to make sure you're following the right track. We got lost a few times, but it was just due to track closures. So we found our way back around. Like any map, the elevation chart's definitely deceiving. It looks pretty flat, but in real life, quite hilly. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it's a lot more up and down stairs than I remember. A lot tougher than the map gives you credit for, I think.
It almost all looks the same too. You go, oh, I remember this bit. And then you turn a corner and you go, no, I don't. We just discovered that the track runs through Empress Canyon. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Christian and I did this one a few times, and then I also did it with tape, so yeah, had no idea.
I did it with Dad.
Not qualified.
That's fun. Coming to the edge, Jim.
Oh, that's okay, because you can't see straight down. It's too high though. So we got up to Katoomba this morning and yeah, basically just came out to recce the UTA course. I've run this course 2 times before and Christian's done the 100 once. So we do know it, but it's always good, yeah, to come out and just get like a little refresher of what it looks like and what we're going to be up for. So yeah, we started running about 1 p.m. It was getting a little bit warmer, but there was a pretty good breeze, and basically just ran from Eco Point out towards Fairmont Resort and then just kept going a little bit past towards Queen Vic Hospital. So this section, of course, on the elevation chart, it looks pretty flat and a lot of it does run along the cliff top, but you do quite a steep section in Lura and it's literally just full of stairs. Some of it's pretty technical. You hit some nice single trail and honestly, like, the views are just so nice. You almost forget how much you're hurting because you're looking around at the mountains and the valleys and past so many waterfalls. Yeah, just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, basically just went out today. We wanted to use it as a bit of a training run, so we just wore some of the gear that we'll use for the race. Tried to put through a nutrition strategy and just see how that was going to go. And yeah, just puts us both in a really good spot to like mentally prepare for the race now. We know which bits are going to be tricky, which bits are going to be good to fuel at, and even those sections where you can like push a little bit harder too. And then Christian booked us some accommodation and honestly it couldn't be in a better spot. So it's literally a little caravan that we're staying in. And yeah, you come out the door and we're literally just looking out at Eco Point. because then it makes me drink.
How's this bottle, bro? What have you done, Demi?
It's good, it's like the right height. We're at Old Queen Victoria Hospital. We're just going to run the back end of the 50k today. So we're going to go down Katoomba Pass, back up the valley, and then finishing up further steps into Katoomba.
What have you got?
Nutrition? So I got a pee. 4 litres of water, and I've got
4 litres?
2 litres of water. And yeah, I got 60 grams of carbs in 3 of the bottles, plain water in 1, and then I've got 3 gels in my pocket too. So whatever that is, it's what I'm having. So whoever said running is a healthy hobby, I don't know what I'm talking about. So before we ran yesterday, because it was an afternoon run, we were like pretty cautious of what we were going to put in our bellies. So I had some oats and protein for breakfast, all looking good. Smashed about 2 litres of a Powerade on the drive up. Had a Red Bull, and then before we ran, I ate 2 white pita breads, just plain. Do you remember what you had yesterday morning?
4 bits of toast with jam, and then a Red Bull on the drive, and a litre Powerade, and then I had 2 croissants for lunch.
And then yeah, like during the run, we're just crushing sugar, and then yeah, palm in a burger for dinner. Similar setup this morning. Woke up, had a coffee, had another pita bread. Oh, I had a banana, which I guess is good. Did you even eat food?
I just had a croissant.
Christian had another croissant, and then we've just shared a V. So we had to get a cab out to the start of the run today, and we had a lovely driver called Andrew. But yeah, right here, pinnacles of health. Thank you. So this section of trail is, you basically have a 5-kilometre descent from the hospital, wide fire trail, and it's pretty steep in sections too, so definitely worth conditioning your legs to some downhill running before your race day. And yeah, once you kind of get to the bottom, you get to the creek, and then you basically just go up again. There's like 2 separate climbs in that section, and you finish the last one, you end up coming back down, still a nice wide fire trail, until you get to the next creek, and then from that creek, that's basically just uphill till you get home. So Christian reckons he can get this whole gel down.
That's not what I said.
Okay, apparently there's a slurp method where you get the whole gel down and literally just try to not let it touch your tongue, and that way you don't get any flavour fatigue. Let's go. Well, that's
pretty good.
Still half full. I think these are hard ones, like the juice ones would be easier. Yeah.
I'm very sweaty. That's pretty good though. That gel went and gone.
Practice makes perfect, hey?
So that sits in my belly.
Yeah. Alright, we got the climb to go.
A climb to go?
The climb to go.
Could say.
Aim in the game will be to try to jog the whole thing. Doesn't matter if it's slow, but we're just gonna plod along. You in?
It's a race.
It's a race.
It's a race.
It's not a race.
Let's go.
Get a little bit of relief at the aid station, which is here. You can see the Three Sisters just up above us. It's basically where we're going. So just a little bit longer to go. So we got up the hill, and so you just feel that little false peak, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Now we're back on the descent, and this descent will go into like a single track forest, and you follow this, goes up for a bit, and then you follow like a pretty nice single track. It's not too technical, it's not too hilly, just before you hit further stairs, and then further stairs is about a K to the finish. This is definitely like the best part of the run. You're right in the valley, you're looking up at the cliffs. I was going to call them mountains. The cliffs. It's just so wild.
So you actually start the day up on the top of the cliffs up here, and then you'll drop down into Lura Cascades, which is sort of in the valley here, and then you drop down and go back up onto the cliffs, around the cliffs basically the whole way out before you drop down into the valley. Epic.
So cool. So once you get onto Federal Pass, there's like two sections to it. The first part, quite narrow single track and undulating, a few little rock steps and river crossings. And then as you get closer to Furbar, it opens up a lot wider, a lot more runnable, and just easier to pick up some speed if you've got the legs. Christian's absolutely took off now. He's been running so well all day, literally been pulling me along. Just shows what happens when you put in the work, eh? Today we got 23.5 Ks, took us 2 hours 25. That was run time, so it probably took us 3 hours total, including rests. And then ascent was 1,173 meters. Average 6:12 per kilometer. Pretty tough day. It definitely was cooler. Well, I reckon it was actually warmer in the valley. And then coming up under the canopy, it was a little bit cooler. And then, yeah, up further stairs. It's just hard regardless of what the weather's doing. But yeah, I guess key takeaways were shoes were good. So the biggest thing is trying to find comfortable shoes to run the 5 kilometer descent in. Something that you're not going to be slipping in and like busting all your toenails up. Nutrition, so just knowing when good places are to take it, and definitely taking caffeine with enough time before the climbs, or even just taking it at the bottom, because then yeah, by the time you're getting to the hard part at the top, then hopefully that caffeine's entered your system. And yeah, like today definitely felt hard, but it's probably a combination of having a 3-hour run yesterday, feeling a little bit fatigued, and then just pushing on from that. But ideally, like the aim of today was to just try to like run that descent from the bottom of the valley up to the kind of the opening before the single track starts, and just yeah, jog that nice and slow, just try not to walk. And yeah, we both did that, so that was cool. Remembering that hopefully it feels harder in training than it is going to feel on the race day. And yeah, just breaking up the run into different sections, so not just going out and thinking I'm going to go PR this entire run, although I think that's what Christian did today. But just going like, I'm not going to kill myself on the descent, I'm going to save my legs a bit, be able to run that uphill, and then yeah, just make sure you can get home and not be too wrecked by the end to jump back into some training for the rest of the week. Thursday today, and I'm heading out for a build run. So it's going to be the same build run as last week. It's 40 minutes, starting at 4:30s and then building down to 3:45s, a few spikes in the end, and then like 15-minute warm up and cool down either side. So I had Tuesday off after we got back from the mountains, and then yesterday I had the gym in the morning and just a 40-minute run in the afternoon. I've done a bit of yoga and rolling, so after doing all that elevation Sunday, Monday, I was definitely feeling a bit tight, but yeah, just kind of focused on doing some yoga, doing some stretches, rolling out all my muscles and feeling pretty good today. One thing that really helped was I was having a little bit of like ITB tightness, and it was sort of like clicking down at my knee, and I was getting a bit of pain. And for a while I had this like round massage ball, because I know you're not meant to roll your ITB. You got to like get into your glute or your lower back. And yeah, I was using this round ball and it just wasn't really working. And then got out the spiky ball, put it under my glute, rolled on it for a little while, just instant relief. I couldn't believe it. A bit more painful, but yeah, works a charm. So I've been up for about an hour now. I've sat in bed and just had some hot water. I don't drink coffee before these runs. I did have a Red Bull. I don't know how I feel about having Red Bulls this early, but it definitely wakes me up and gets me going. Had a bagel and some jam. And yeah, just now trying to like stretch out a bit, roll out, and basically just wait for the sun to come up so I can head out and just cut some laps around the lake. And the main things I just like to stretch out in the morning is first I just get like a ball, put it under the sole of my foot. I think we forget sometimes like how hard your foot works when you're running, when you're walking, when you're just doing like everyday stuff. Calves, so I do get tight Achilles sometimes, so just rolling out my calves loosens all that up. Getting into my glute, and then rolling out my back and loosening up my shoulders a little bit too, just because when you are running, like you use your arms quite a bit, so making sure all that's nice and loose. And yeah, just saying nice things to myself. So I've been wearing the Puma DV8 Nitro 3s for all these build runs. Just a nice comfortable shoe. It's plated, it's not carbon though, so it just adds a bit of stiffness. And yeah, it's just been really nice like picking up a shoe, just knowing that's the one I wear for these runs. And then a few last things before I head out. So watch, make sure you charge your watch. A few times I've headed out, I'm on like 30% and I'm like, oh, don't die. Sunnies, heart rate. And if you do wear a chest heart rate strap, just find a good sports bra that actually sits like underneath it. If the strap sits on top of it, it's so restricting, but if you can get something that kind of sits over the top and then under, holds it in there, and then you don't really notice it as much. And lastly, I'll try to take 3 gels on the run. So ideally I use these gels in the marathon. In trail running, I use a mix of like drinks and gels. So trying to lean towards mostly just using gels just for ease. So I'm gonna go no caff in my warm up. I'm gonna go caffeine about 10 minutes into the build. So hopefully that's in my system by the time it starts getting hard. And then I'll just try to get another one down during that last 5 minutes of the build where it's quite hard. So just getting used to taking nutrition when my heart rate's up quite high. I tried to do this last week, but I literally just forgot that I had another gel to take. So I just got back, ended up getting through the 3 gels, but questionably, because I'm fairly sure there's still quite a bit left in these. I totaled 17K, took an hour 15 and average pace was 4:25. So I started the warm up and my legs were feeling a bit heavy, and in my mind I was thinking, oh, you know, maybe I'm not as recovered as I thought I was. But pushed that aside, did some strides, and I just find every time like I pick up the pace a little bit in my warm-up, it just makes me feel so much better. So I got 4:25, 4:18, 4:20, 4:11, 4:06, 4:03, 3:57, 3:51, 3:46, and then 3:36 to finish. I did some 15-second pickups in the last 2K. That's why they'll be a little bit faster. But yeah, overall felt pretty good. Averaged about 4:40s for the cool down. Just having like been warmed up, I just find that's like a nice comfortable pace to sit at for the back end. And yeah, stoked. So I'm pretty sure that'll be the last build until the marathon. And I still feel like I'm in such a weird place with training for this marathon. Everything that I see for other people that are training for these, they're doing, you know, like marathon specific sessions, doing, I don't know, 2 or 3 by 5K, all that sort of thing. And I feel like I've just been ticking along with my same 50K training, but I kind of like it too. And I always say it, but yeah, running's running. Let's keep it simple. It's not that hard. Just go out, get it done. So I just got back from my 40-minute double, and I'm just prepping some lunches for the rest of the week / next week. I used to think I had to do this on a Monday, and now I just make enough so that there's some in the freezer for when I need them. And today, yeah, I've just kind of been thinking about the differences between racing a 50K and then racing a marathon, and just the things that I'm going to need to consider. So I've come up with a few things that I'll have to look into. The first one is hydration. So obviously in a trail run, we carry our water, most of our gels. We do have aid stations where we can like pick up more, but predominantly like you're wearing your water on your chest. And you can just drink it whenever you want. So in a marathon, there's like tables set up where you can put out your nutrition, and then yeah, when you run through, you just grab it and take it on. But yeah, it feels a little bit foreign to me. So just having to think about like a vessel that I'm going to be putting that liquid in, put a little bit of carbs in it as well, and then whether I tape a gel to the bottle. So when I run through, I just pick up the bottle and the gel and have it all then. And then the other thing I haven't done is just held a steady pace for that amount of time. Trail running, your pace alters on the terrain, the elevation, whether it's a wide trail, whether it's single track and you're running behind someone. So a marathon is completely different. So just wanting to make a little bit of a plan in regards to, do I go out at a certain pace and just hold that? Do I go out a little bit easier and then try to kick a little bit harder if I'm feeling good in the last 10? And yeah, just come up with like a solid plan for how I want the day to go. I'm a big believer in treating races almost like those big training sessions that you have, where if you were to think about a big training session, you get nervous about it, but you just go crush it anyway, most of the time. So yeah, I just try to bring that same attitude towards racing and just, yeah, treat it like a training session, knowing that I can do it and just, yeah, really needing to knuckle down to get the job done. So yeah, excited, but just a lot to consider. Friday morning, hour easy, and hoping for a ripper sunrise. 11 kilometers, 170 meters ascent, and an hour total. And yeah, just a really nice morning, pretty crisp. Running up the first section in like the first half an hour, got above the clouds, and that looked really beautiful. And then yeah, just ended up doing a loop and felt pretty good. It's not too cold in the mornings yet, so definitely appreciating that, and just yeah, absolutely no wind. So out at Woden parkrun today, we've heard good things about this one. Everyone's saying it's flat, it's fast. So keen to give it a crack. It's a nice and simple out and back course, and pretty straight as well. So 2.5 out, turn around, and then come home. So I've just got 60 minutes aerobic today, so I'll just probably sit this one at about 4:45. Try not to get caught up with the pace. And yeah, Christian's gonna head out. He's gonna do a 5K time trial, so we're gonna see what that looks like for him. How'd you go?
That's good. My best parkrun so far.
Sunday morning today, and I've just finished my specific marathon session. So I've just done this a week out from the race. If you're wanting to see how this one went, I'm going to put it on next week's videos, and I'll just combine that with the race as well. So I just put that all in one. Won't tell you too much, but I did try out the Metaspeeds guys. Had a 30-minute effort at marathon pace, and they felt great. So yeah, if you want to see how that went, you want to see how the race goes, hit that subscribe button. Love your support, and yeah, I'll see you for the next one.